Hey guys, so I'm in New York right now. Um, I just wanted to share a raw video where and I'll just express what I felt through the whole process. I mean, not just now, right? Typically, over time, what we have, you know, um, gone through in the airplane journeys, right? I mean, we all feel it, but some of us or most of us will, you know, stick to the bottom line, right, of travel, just from place A to place B. Everything is managed, right? And then we just focus on getting through the whole journey, however long it is. But today, I just, I don't know how to put it, but a lot of things I want to say, right? The theme would be mainly around, appreciating the whole system or infrastructure that has been put in place over the period of time, right? Um, like if you go back to the beginning, right, when this all started, um, just the very idea that you can reach from place A to place B, right, using the airplane, right? We should still take a moment at some point in our lives to appreciate that fact, right? Because that's where this all starts, right? Once that idea was, turned into a reality, right? The amount of detailing, right, that it involves and it has evolved over the years, it's fascinating, right? I mean, it could be very small things, but the amount of people or the staff that is engaged in the airport and the whole, airline travel system is amazing. I mean, see, this is where I'm struggling, like where to start and what, you know, to to put emphasis on, because if you just think about it, right, it's amazing. Like, it's all about the perspective, right? So if you think from the passenger's perspective, you won't feel anything, guys. Literally, you'll be looking for your gates, you'll be looking for your airline counters, security check-in and stuff like that, and hope that there's no lineups, no hassles. You get your airline. The whole focus is on that. But if you change your perspective and think from the opposite side, right? Um, that you're the owner of this whole thing, right? Like, you need to make the system work. um, Obviously the bottom line is transporting people from one place to the other, but the amount of uh, I mean, I can say complexity is involved, right? The private airlines and then the public airlines, right? The government owned airlines, and then the taxation systems. I don't know, like, in order for you to have the plane at the airport, you're timed and then charged accordingly, right? So, I mean, this is just some of the things that is just coming to my mind, but you're getting my point, right? Where I'm going with this. There are a lot of complexities involved here, right? And over the period of time, right, the number of people that are involved, the number of cities, and then the number of countries that are involved to make this all work, right? It's amazing. We need to take a moment, right, to just give a thought and maybe have gratitude, right, to the system that we all have created for ourselves, right, and not take it for granted. The complexities which I was mentioning, maybe it is partly to do with the kind of itinerary I have, but still, like, there are multiple airlines involved. Sometimes it is one airline but operated by another, right? And then there's a confusion that which counter you need to go to, and then they play ping pong with you and then just do back and forth, right? And from the passenger's perspective, it's not good, right? You will feel frustrated. But you know just considering even that aspect, right, to allow multiple airlines to be booked from place A in one country to place B in another country, many third party travel websites involved, right? And then there are multiple airlines involved, right? What happens with the web check-in? Who issues the boarding pass? you know there are a lot of complexities involved. So what I'm saying is, um, obviously there will be hiccups, right? It's not a simple system, but overall, right, if you consider over the period of time and over so many years, they all work together to make it happen and make things better at some point, right? And I mean,
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for your patience as we serve the pre-boarding announcement for Flight 4636 with nonstop services to Washington Reagan. At this time, we would like to pre-board only our concierge key members, so please board now through gate 43.
even these, right, the announcements, the gates, right, sometimes the gate change happens, you need to notify everyone.
Group 1
sometimes
customers are welcome to board.
sometimes it is overbooked, right? And then you need to manage accordingly the passengers, right? Airlines have their own uh, private companies to run with, right? Like they have to make profits, stakeholders involved, you know they have to be in business, so they need to do certain things which may or may not be popular, right? So as you know, most of the airlines operate under a loss, right? But still they are there, right, to to help people move from one place to the other, right? I mean, that's why they say
Group
it's
2
an
customers are welcome to board.
that's why they say it's an industry on its
Group 3
own.
customers are welcome to board.
But I mean,
Group 4 customers are welcome to board through gate 43.
just considering very natively, right?
Group
Okay,
5 is welcome to board.
just think it's you who just designed the whole idea of flying in an airplane, and then fast forward bunch of years,
Group
you
6
know the
customers are
world
welcome to board
has
through gate 43 for Flight
put in place
4636
this system
nonstop services to
with
Washington
so
Reagan.
much complexity system, right from ticketing to the whole execution and addressing customer problems. There will be many problems of individuals. There will be people who are aged, right? There will be kids stroller, you know, babies, bassinet seats, in-flight issues, medical issues, or people issues, a lot of things, right? I mean, if you consider from passengers perspective, as I was saying before, it's a small shell, right? Like the food is not good, and then you yell and you don't like it, and you'll yell
Group
at
8
everybody.
customers are now welcome to board.
And also you would put feedback online, right, or social media. But
Group 9
if you
customers are welcome to
consider
board.
from the
Turn off
airline
before, ladies and
perspective,
gentlemen.
right, there
All
is a
tickets
system
confirmed passengers.
in
All
place,
seats are
right?
unusual and welcome to board.
It's not like somebody prepares the food and you know uh, make sure that the best food is provided to you, right? Maybe the food that you don't like, somebody else likes it, right? You cannot quantify these things and then create a negative um, impression, right? So if you just flip the narrative, the perspective, then you would empathize with what's going on. Okay, there are some obvious cases where you know uh, people need to improve airlines or whatever customer service. Somebody's rude. Even in those situations, right? Generalizing to the whole company or brand, it's not right. Like, that's what, right? If you think from, say, you're the owner of a particular airline, right, and you're trying your best to do what is best for everyone, right? But then you hire people just in any other company, right? Okay, he or she is talented and then has qualifications, whatever, and then you hire, but everyone has their own personality, right? When it comes to difficult moments and stuff like that, person A would behave differently than person B. So, you see where I'm going, right? And these things don't work in silos. They all need to be integrated into the whole process, right? You cannot, I mean, one thing cannot fall apart, right? If one thing breaks, everything is impacted, right? So, I mean, I can go on and on,
Attention passenger,
but I
good
just
evening. And I'm Markham. Please wait here. Please make way gate 43 for flight 4636 to Washington.
so the whole purpose of making this video is just to have gratitude to you know the ingenuity of human beings to have such a system created, right, in front of our eyes in our lifetime. It's not like the next generations would reap the benefits. It's already there, right? They've built it in kind of like within one or two generations, right? um, so we just need to be appreciative of the fact. I mean, that's what I feel. Because sometimes I focus from the whole system's perspective rather than individual perspective, like a passenger perspective. And it's a new world. It's like your mind opens up to you know a lot of things. Like, you empathize with them, and in fact, more than empathize, you appreciate them. Yeah, come on, they have built this system, and it's amazing, and that too taking losses, right? They're still running the whole system, so it's amazing. Yeah, so I just wanted to share this. Hope you guys like the video. I just wanted to share the raw feelings I had. It's not It's unfiltered, so just whatever is coming to my mind, you know, I don't know how it's coming across, but this is the articulation thing I always keep saying, right? What's in your mind, if you can explain in the words, then you know you would have achieved your goal, right? Of communicating what you're actually feeling, because this is the difficult part, right? Like the black and white stuff, the quantitative stuff, it's easy because they are facts and you can explain, you can just mention it. But the difficult part is what person A feels or interprets or perceives a certain thing or system or anything, right? And then just impart it to others, and probably they are thinking the same, or it's a new thought process, right? Which is positive. So yeah. Okay, guys. Bye bye.